I'm a physicist, which is one type of scientist. But when I suggest you take a scientific approach, I'm not saying you should become a scientist or that my YouTube channel content is only for scientists. Certainly not. Because although I have a bachelor's degree and master's degree in physics and the research to go along with it, I'm also an engineer with a bachelor's, master's, and PhD doctorate, as you can see on my wall behind me. And that's 5 of my 8 college degrees, and I just showed you all 8. But let's not even talk about my mathematics degree. What I'm suggesting by taking a scientific approach is what I do on days when I wake up and choose to be an engineer. I could have chosen to be a physicist, to look at the world and work on my projects from that perspective. But some days I make a different choice. I make a choice to be the best engineer I can be. We all make choices like that. Are you driving to your vacation one Monday morning, or are you driving to work? It's 2 completely different perspectives. On Thursday, I met Brandon, who studied at West Point, but then health problems prevented him from moving forward with his dream of becoming a pilot. So he got a teacher's certificate and taught biology as a science teacher in high school. That was before he started a successful business, which got purchased, and now he works at a local engineering company. He has many choices on who he chooses to be on any given day. And maybe your life's journey is that varied. But I'm not suggesting anything that complex. I'm simply recommending that you look at slots from a scientific perspective. And how would you do anything? Like that? It's not hard to get started. Having a scientific approach isn't spreadsheets and colorful graphs, although we will talk about those. Fundamentally, have a plan. Educate yourself about your state gaming regulations to see what challenges you face and learn your casino well. And in between those two, consider what your intent is. Before you enter a casino, perhaps on the way there, ask yourself or discuss with your spouse, what's the plan? Casinos hope you don't plan because they have a plan for you, which involves getting your bankroll while in return giving you entertainment. But the priority is getting your money, and giving you entertainment is optional. Regarding entertaining you, they only want to give you just enough so that you don't go away sad and mad, so much so that you won't come back. Because for casinos, that's to be avoided. They want you to come back because, repeat business results in a positive financial future for them. And how much sadness is too much? Well, that depends on whether your casino is Penn National, where the next nearest casino is inconveniently far away, or whether you're in Philadelphia with its many casinos. I was interviewed by ABC 27, the local news station in Harrisburg, Evening News, about just this casino competition, which you can watch by visiting professorslots.com/ABC. Are you climbing up there? Where are you going? Emil is enjoying the shelves I've put up. Okay, maybe we'll see his tail dangling down later. So that's your kitty sighting, everybody. The last, I know I know several of you appreciate that. Yes, so when you watch professorslots.com/ABC27, that's just a shortcut. It's easier to remember. It'll take you to the website for the local ABC 27 channel, and it'll take you right to that video. I'd show it, but I can't because it's got its own commercials and stuff as they normally do, and YouTube doesn't allow me to share that. But professorslots.com/ABC27. The last minute of conversation between the two anchors is especially enlightening. Casinos have a plan. Do you? Have you thought about what you want and how to get it before entering a casino? Are you and perhaps your spouse in agreement? You don't have to have the same plan, of course not, but teamwork is a powerful force for accomplishing goals. You see how I'm looking at um, uh, this perspective of being a physicist and saying, have a conversation beforehand, have a plan. And then I'm looking at this from the perspective of an engineer saying, teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. But taking a scientific approach isn't just about having a plan beforehand. It also means looking back on what happened so you can learn from it. That means another conversation after your casino visit. I could use the word debriefing, but I feel like that has a connotation to that word, which is more military than scientific. Although a future live stream about how to conquer your casino is now on my list of live stream topics. Discuss your plan before entering a casino. There are choices to make. Are you there to entertain yourself, make money, or earn reward points, or some combination of that? Is it a reconnaissance trip? Hey, another military term. Interesting. I'm definitely having that live stream topic now. Are you there to win, increase your tier level, or map the casino? And if you're me, choosing to be an engineer, scientist, or business person, what is it you are there to learn? Fun, money, and comps are all fine gambling goals. Those are the most popular. Just pick one per trip, or at least pick one before dinner, and then maybe another one after dinner or some other time. But those are just the most common goals. My gambling goal is education. The other slots channels have the goal of getting views. Again, there's nothing wrong with any of these goals, but you must know what your goal is, because your casino has a goal for you, which you may not agree with. So go ahead and play one of their highly visible slot machines in a busy area of the casino. Like, let's talk about Kashada. Let's see here. If we go to so you may or may not know that Kashada posts all their hand pays. And if you go to Kashada, this is a Louisiana casino, tribal casino. You go under casino slot machines, then you'll come to a page. I've talked about how this is only available on the mobile view, but they have this little icon here, which if you were to click, will take you to slot jackpots over $1,200. So this is all the hand pays, but only for the last month. And there are about 100 per page here. And I'm going to click on, let me make it a little bigger for you in case you're on your phone. I want you to be able to see this. So the most recent one was today at 4:50. That's when they last uploaded it. The prior was on a Dragon Link, Happy and Prosper, a progressive multi-denomination machine. Minimum denomination on that multi-denomination machine was 1 cent. Somebody won $1,483.13, which sounds like a progressive win, not a line hit. Where the 2236 on the Dragon Link Peace and Long Life looks like a line hit because it has 00 on the end. Time, day and time, and also map location. By the way, when you look at this, the ones that start with HD are in the high limit room. You can sort of tell from the denomination, but also, somebody won 2 wins within 9 minutes on Twin Win. Let's see what's going on here. Need to make it a little smaller. Yes, if I make it too big, then you lose the ID. And we want to know if this Twin Win was identical to, yes, so it's the same ID for Twin Win. Oh, that's interesting. We'll come back to that in a moment. But if you click on the location, it actually opens up a map of the casino. And so I'm going to show you the whole casino. I may try to make this a little bigger. Yeah. So that's the whole casino. And what I want to point out here is this area right here. It's a little hard to tell, but here's a casino entrance. This is a walking path that's pretty wide. And then there's this local area. I'm zooming in here for you. This local area, is that right? Yes. That's right here. And this is where they have the car giveaways and the motorcycle giveaways, ATV giveaways, because it's an open area that they use to set up a little stage on, basically a stage. This row of machines, I think it's 3 machines, if I remember correctly, I played them, is pointed towards, on this side of the machines, pointed towards this open area. So everybody playing on this carousel, that carousel, those machines, these machines on the end, and all of this, and people coming out of the restrooms and the poker room, they see wins on this machine, these machines. And one of those is set to win, or can be, and depending on the casino budget. Sometimes they turn it off for parts of the day, and it's really their plan, which we've talked about in the past. And so if you're going to Kashada, then that's where you would want to play. There's other things to talk about the 2 entrances to the high limit room, and this is the wider entrance, and some stuff going on there. We talked about it before, but I wanted to point out to you that. And so play highly visible machines. And there's an example of what you're looking for at your casino. Please check their website, see if they have anything like this. WinStar has even as much of this, but it's so much bigger that it's just this huge map. These are resources for you. This is what you get when you learn your casino well. Maybe your casino doesn't have it. Maybe it's in the kiosk. MGM Grands have it in their kiosk, and there's like 3 different layers. And just go to the website, check to see if at the very bottom they have a property map. And that's what you're looking for. So you can sort of check before you go to the casino. And so that's what I wanted to. Am I not sharing it? Am I not sharing it? I am not sharing it. Oh my goodness. Yes. So I apologize. What I was talking about was these machines right there. And this open area, and how it's near the poker room. It's from the casino entrance. This is a wide path. My apologies for not sharing that appropriately. Yes. So if we do this, good. Too many buttons. So play highly visible machines, as I showed in Kashada. If you want to play one of the machines in that row that I showed you and win, that's the casino wants you to be seen to win, and they'll more than make back their money on that. It's not that like they're waiting for you to play. I'm not saying that, but rather that the odds of winning, the theoretical payout setting that every slot tech knows of, whether they tell you that or not, have been turned up for the part of the day for a few hours. I know slots techs that listen to what I say, completely misunderstand it, and make this ridiculous argument about no, they don't know who you are sitting at the machine, and don't say now and push a button to give you a win. And it's just like, that's not at all what I'm saying. And you know that. You know about the theoretical payout setting, and you know who I'm talking to. But hey, forgive and forget. It's my motto. And you can't control the internet. Be safe out there. So yes, they can turn it up for part of the day for a few hours, and it's all under the casino budget. Doing so more than pays for itself. And that's the example I showed you at Kashada. One of my Slots Labs participants that's taken my advanced 6-week group coaching program. And I want to share that. That's taken my 6-week group coaching course that takes off where my fundamental 30 days to play slots smarter and win course leaves off. Saw an astonishing sequence of wins. Here, let me show you. So I will make sure I make put myself in the corner, switch to this, and show you again. We're at Kashada. Can you see this? I can try to make it a little bigger. I hate to make it too much bigger because we start to lose the information. Yeah, one less than that. Okay, here we are. You may find this interesting. I hope you find it interesting because I think it certainly is interesting. We've been discussing it in Slots Labs on Thursday. So let me highlight the wins I want to show you. Do you see it? Bonus sizzling wins on Thursday morning between 6:25 a.m. Eastern Time and 6 minutes after 8 Eastern Time. Two machines, 3107 and 1647, which are at YL1008 and YL1007. These are side by side, actually in a carousel together. There are 8 of them. And 7 of them were a hand pay for $1,750. 7 hand pays on these 2 machines for $1,750, and one of those wins on those 2 machines was $5,000. What the heck? This is the sort of thing that you watch for. And so we discussed it in Slots Labs, and just to be clear, I have you can go to this publicly available Kashada link. I showed you how to get there and copy. It's not exactly easy. You have to sort of know how to copy and then put it in a spreadsheet. So you have to have a spreadsheet to put it in, and then just do each page, and you can collect this data. But it's only there for the last month. And then if tomorrow it will be 1 month plus 1 day that will be dropped off, and so you can have the 1 month. And if you do this again before the next month is up, then you'll have 2 months, and et cetera, and et cetera. Well, I've been doing this since mid-May with help. Thank you, Texas Tootsie, and who showed me around Kashada, and also I showed her what I was seeing around Kashada, and that was a wonderful adventure. Even have a recording of her playing while I watched over her shoulder and recorded on video. So you can see some of those in my demo videos, my early demo videos. But when we go here, we can YL1007 is that machine. What do you know? Right in front of the casino entrance. What am I telling you here? So that's a round, and it's not a line. So that's a carousel. Now, I'm very interested in what's going on here. I'm going to click on the other one, YL1008, and it's also there. Is there a difference? Let me see. It seems to be on that side. Yeah, it's the same. It just points to the center of this carousel. It's not telling us whether it's visible from people coming in from the entrance or if it's visible from people leaving and they're stopped by this. It is likely to be, I suspect from what I've seen before at other casinos, it is likely to be one of them is visible for people walking into the casino, and one of them probably would be visible for people leaving the casino from going this way out. And I suspect that's the 2 machines on this carousel. Now, this was mentioned to me by Keith, and I'll put that away for you. So Keith mentioned this, who is in Slots Labs. It's an astonishing sequence of wins. He's just keeping track. So Keith is taking a scientific approach. He told me about this on Thursday, and we discussed it during class that evening. And one of the things that we discussed is, how often does this happen? And we're currently looking into how often do we have that kind of sequence. Is it always on a Thursday morning between 6:30 and 8? We don't have the answer to that yet. It's part of spreadsheet analysis. But Keith is not waiting. Keith decided to go to Kashada. He's there right now as we speak. And playing those 2 machines also keeping an eye on those two machines when he's not playing it, and seeing what other people are doing when they're playing it. It's the scientific approach to helping yourself win at slots. Do you see? Yes, maybe you're new to my content. If so, welcome. And maybe the best thing for you is to take my Fundamentals Slots course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. Maybe that's the right thing for you. You have a lot to go through in that course, but it is all fundamentals. It just turns out it's most things people don't know. Even other channels are just like making up. They make these videos. I don't mean to pick on the other channels, but when you're trying to be, get rid of myths, and then you use that opportunity of a video to make more myths. I just, I used to be more upset about that sort of thing, but now I don't care. You know about the internet, right? You got to know where your sources are coming from. My sources are, one of my sources is coming from actual casino data that's available to you, but only for the last month, where I've been collecting it for over a year. Right now I'm at 15 months. And thank you again, Jan. And so, welcome. Maybe you need to take my fundamental slots course, but maybe you want to learn the advanced stuff. The next Slots Labs starts in 3 weeks. Let me go back to here. If you go to professorslots.com, you can do courses sign in. These are the courses that I have available. This is Slots Labs, the one that's coming up. Or you can just type professorslots.com/SL. Like it says here at the top, professorslots.com/SL. But if you go to the website, if you use that link, you can see down here in 3 weeks, the classes will start. We're meeting, one of the times we're meeting is on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And that's when the group meeting takes place. There's also lessons beforehand to take and homework to do. It's a little bit of a commitment, but you have 3 weeks before it starts. One bonus that you get with this course is you get the 30 days course, the fundamentals course. In 3 weeks, you can take that 30 days in 3 weeks if you do every once in a while 2 lessons per day. You'll get that free. I mean, depending if you want the advanced, if you want me to drag you out of your kiddie pool, understanding of how slots works, and you want me to, throw you in the Olympic size pool, I offer that. With it, I offer 15 months of Kashada data. If you know spreadsheets, or if you have a nephew who knows spreadsheets, hopefully 21 years of age, and you can start, graphing out some of the things. What machine has the most number of hand pays? I know. People in Slots Labs know. And I'll share that with you. Which game name, because there might be multiple games, has the most number of hand pays? Wouldn't you want to play that? Well, as Jan knows, if you try to do that, you go to that machine, go to Kashada, go to that machine. Somebody's probably playing it because they're not idiots. So maybe the fifth most number of hand pay machines might be the one you want to play because you can get on it. And this isn't just about people who go to Kashada. If you look at the hand pay data, that comes from Kashada, and I'll put this away. Those that end in something other than 00, $1,483.13, that's a progressive win. And if we plot Dragon Link, Happy and Prosperous, all hand pays, but also remove about 1/3 of my 10,000 hand pay data that I have for 15 months. 1/3 of those are progressive wins. Line hits end with 00, progressives do not. And we can look at that to see what decisions the slot machine manufacturers are making about how high progressives go. And I call it an internal must hit by amount. And it's a setting that the slot machine manufacturers recommend to casinos. The casinos don't decide. Very few of them will make a choice of maybe let's make it 18 instead of 20,000. Let's make it $18,888.88 because we have a large Asian community and they just love that, and that's a great thing to do at some casinos, like for instance the Las Vegas airport, and that's a very popular thing to say. So see there, but at your casino, wherever you are in the United States, the setting that they chose for Kashada, the slot machine manufacturer recommended to Kashada and Kashada used, is what they're using at your casino. So you don't have to go to Kashada to use this data, and it's giving you information about your casino. And so this is the sort of thing that the advanced course, again, I'm grabbing you by the ankle, dragging you from the kiddie pool. I know it's really hot in Texas, Jan. Y'all from hotter than you know what in Texas. Yes, I throw you in the Olympic-sized pool, and the lifeguard on duty. Hi, how you doing? Lifeguard on duty. So the 30 days course can be taken in less than 30 days. You can get it done by the next, you can get it done in 3 weeks. My grandmother Pearl could, and so can you. So if you're ready to dig into plans, leaving with winnings, combining strategies, and 17 months of Kashada data, because by the time Slots Labs is done, the next one, it'll be 17 months. And that's going to be part of the Slots Labs experience. Registration is only open until I get 20 participants, so that everyone gets individual attention. Then when the class is full, then I'll close registration. If I get 20 people, this weekend, then the next 3 weeks they'll just work on the next course, and maybe you'll see another Slots Labs in a couple months. Don't let someone else take your seat. I've also decided to lower the price for everyone. I used to make it half off for people who had taken it in the past because they just love to take it again because there's so much to talk about. Other questions they have, we just have, endless questions. It's very specific, detailed, advanced questions, and I answer all of them, but they come up with more because they think about the answers and then they're like, now I have more. And so they take the course again. And I was offering those to those people who had already taken Slots Labs because I was surprised they wanted to take it again. I offered it half off. And then I decided that wasn't fair to everybody else. So I made it half off for everyone. It is now half off what it was. Everybody gets the same discounted price, and that's the permanent price. I hope to see you in Slots Labs. So this live stream is an opportunity to ask questions. I start off with a slots topic inspired by your questions from past live streams, comments on YouTube, questions from Facebook, or my conversations with you. If you have a question, ask. And I'll take the rest of this time to respond. I usually talk about 20 minutes on a particular topic because people tell me here that they're always getting, learning something new. Even people who have been with me for a couple of years always learn something new at live streams. So I'm trying to address situations. And some of it isn't that I haven't said it before. It's that it's new. I mean, those eight wins, that was Thursday. What the heck? And there's been other discoveries as all of you who are in Slots Labs have been working, and your questions have led to things that we're finding in the game rules are for about 20% of the machines, and it's just like boom. And I've talked a little bit about some of that in the past. So ask your questions. I'll take them next. And I also want to thank my many moderators for their help today. Thank you. If you like this live stream, what we're talking about so far, please go ahead and like it so that we will manipulate the central server at YouTube and get more people to come take a look and get their questions answered. I don't know if you've noticed, maybe it's hard to notice, I am growing like gangbusters lately. And I'm glad people want to know how to win, and so every month I'm getting pretty big numbers now on new subscribers. All the YouTube channels are small, but I'm like 8% of 8% the size of Brian Christopher, which is about right, because how many in the general population? How many people like charts and graphs? About 8%. See how that works? And so I'm going to start going through the questions. Ask yours. Carol has a question. Let's see. She asked it twice, and they're slightly different questions. Carol says, "Hi, Professor." Hi, Carol. What machine, 2-coin or 3-coin, is faster winning and win more? And then she kind of changed the question a few seconds later and said, "Is it easier or faster to win on a 2-coin machine than on a 3-coin machine?" The best advice I can give you, every state's different, but the best advice I can give you is what generally works for all states, or rather what doesn't work. And if you avoid what doesn't work, you're better off. Avoid penny machines. The data shows it's like substantially worse on returns for penny slots. And if you play a multi-denomination machine and you choose 2 cents, I mean, if you're betting, $1 bets, if you have that option with the 1 cent denomination, so it's 100 credits, please, scientifically, please change the denomination to 2 cents, and if you can, make 50-cent bets. You'll notice immediate difference. And that's just the 7 U.S. States that offer monthly returns. So there's 20 that offer monthly returns. There's 7 of those 20 that offer them broken down by slot machine denomination. And you can go to those states. And all of them have showed month after month, year after year, except one time in February, 2 years ago in Central City, Colorado, one time the penny slot, a penny denomination, was not the worst. It was kind of like tied. And other than that, it's just the worst. And so if I don't know what state you're in, there's things you can do if you learn your state's gaming regulations, but anywhere that you are, try to get away from penny slots. I'm not saying bet more. I'm just saying maybe have the number of credits changed to a 2-cent denomination and it'd be the same value. And that's universal. Okay. As far as the 2 cent, the 2-coin and the 3-coin machine, it all depends on the casino. Is it highly visible? Again, that's the next level down. Avoid penny slots. The next level is highly visible only, and shoot and play highly visible machines. And if you don't want to think about it any further, that alone will help. But if you want to think about it just a little bit more, it's not all highly visible machines. It's one of them, and figure out which one. Use my 5-spin method to go down the row of 3, and it should be obvious. And it has been, and that's what I did at Kashada with Jan, Texas Tootsie, one of my moderators that's here today. I hope that helps. 2 or 3 coin. Technically, all the document, just to go a little bit further here, all the documentation that I've seen says the number of credits bet doesn't have a difference in the odds. But I've experienced obvious differences where I played machine at minimum bets for an hour, 90-cent bets, and it was minimum bets on that machine in a highly visible area at Hollywood Lawrenceburg for an hour on a winning machine, and I just increased my bankroll, making small bets but small wins. And then after after an hour, because I'm in it for the education, as I mentioned, I was like, what can I do? How can I help people understand this? They're not letting me record, but I can document this. What should I do? What should I do? And I was like, okay, I'm going to switch to $2.70 bets, right in the middle of how many credits I could bet, staying with the denomination that I had chosen, and just do $2.70 bets and see what happens. And I did that for half an hour. And I won just as often, but it wasn't 3 times as much. 90 cents, $2.70, that's 3x the bet size. And when on the 90-cent bets, I was winning about $20 every little while, 10 wins or so, 10 bets or so. And I was still winning every 10 bets or so, but it wasn't $60, 3 times $20. It was $25. And then $25, $30. And then when I went for another half an hour after that, so I'm playing the machine for 2 full hours. On the last half hour of that 2 hours, I went to maximum bets, $4.50. 5 times the 90-cent bet. Was I making $100 wins every 10 bets? I was not. I was making $35, $40 wins. And so my bankroll started shrinking. I broke even on the middle level bets, $2.70 bets. I was making money on the 90-cent bets, and the $4.50. It just shrank my bankroll, my $300 bankroll. It was I had a $100 bankroll. I was trying to keep the numbers kind of easy to calculate. I grew it to 300 on my 90-cent bets. For the $2.70 bets, it just sort of stayed there, bankroll cycling. And then when I went to $4.50 bets, it just shrank. And when it got down to 100, I left. Got a lot of rewards points. And so I learned something about that. It doesn't have to be that way, but it was for that machine. And I'm currently doing demo videos that might explore this a little bit further. Not many people ask your question. It's a good question. And Mary Ellen, hello. And Chris, good. Hello. And Texas Tootsie says, hotter than you know what in Texas. Well, we can talk about weather. We should talk about weather, actually. Good morning, everyone, from Steve. Hi, Steve. Thank you for all your emails lately. I am going to be making some slots Q&A questions about them. I think people would be fascinated by what you're uncovering. And he thanks me and says hi to me and all the moderators. He's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah, Cheryl says all heat coming this way. Hang on. So I have a hurricane coming at me. It will be here late Monday night, right? No, late Sunday night, right? It'll be in Las Vegas, where they're expecting 1 year of rain in 1 or 2 days. So Hurricane Hillary, 1L, is coming our way. It looks like it shifted path a little bit, coming up. I mean, California, Los Angeles, please be careful if you're in Southern California, but it's also coming up through Nevada and Las Vegas. It seems to be moving a little bit to the west. So it may only skim Las Vegas. Previously, it was going to be a little bit east, and it was going to barely skim Reno, but now it's more, not quite central impact on Reno. It'd be, of course, a tropical storm by the time it maybe even makes landfall. So yeah, hurricanes in California. How about that? Shawana, great to have you here. Blessed day to you as well. Serenacy, do you have a cat question? Oh, yep. Serenacy's like, yay, cat sighting. And yep, he's up there. Oh, can't quite do it. There he is. And you can sort of see the tail hanging down. Okay, let me put everything back in position. Things I do for cats. Okay, question from Serenity. One of my locals just announced, and they are starting building a fancy RV resort, pool, hiking trail, etc., scheduled to open next spring. What can I anticipate them to? When can I anticipate them to tighten the slots? Um, this is sort of an intermediate build. If they put new carpeting in the casino, I mean, yeah, sure, it's thousands of dollars, but it's not millions of dollars. New wallpaper, new paint. Yeah, sure, it makes the place look better. But you don't really see that being like a big casino expenditure, like putting up a hotel is, multi-million dollars then. And so I'm thinking about how much would it cost to make a resort with a pool and a hiking trail. Is it gonna kind of like cross over the line? If this is a small casino and if it seems like a major expense, I mean, if they're doing this at WinStar, I'd be like, no. But if they're doing it at almost any other casino, it could be a little expensive. But they're not putting up too many buildings. They might put up like a outdoor restroom or something like that. That's just a little shack sort of deal. I have a feeling that they may not need to. For those of you who are getting in major expansion projects, more casino floor, hotel, then you can expect them to tighten up when they start paying their bill. If putting my engineer hat on, if you know anything about construction, you know that they accept a certain amount of money to get construction materials, the company that's building it for you, but the bulk of the payments don't come until it's done, until it's approved. Yes, they have to, you have to pay for the materials, but the whole service involved is more along the lines of, when do you start paying after they did the work, more or less. I'm really, for those of you in business, I'm really flubbing over, or gliding over this, but payments don't start until it's done. That's usually the rules, and so they don't need to reduce the odds until they start making payments. So if you see a major construction project at your casino, don't worry about it until it's done, and then worry about it, because it could be a year or two while they reduce the odds in order to, instead of pulling from their savings, instead of pulling money from the pulling money from the investors. It's just all kinds of bad. They just reduce how much people win to not affect the investors so much, so the investors don't get upset. It's just how businesses work. So that's kind of answers your question, but also answers kind of like if there's this huge expansion that's going on. Atlantis Reno is pretty much maxed out, but they weren't once upon a time, and so they built a tower. And then next to it, they built a tower, but it's even higher. And then next to that, they built even a higher tower. I'm not quite sure what's going to go on with Atlantis. It might be a few years yet, but I worked in a 19-story building in downtown Flint, Michigan, which was torn down after 50 years, because it was mostly made out of concrete, and concrete only lasts so many years. And as we know from our roads, and those are being driven on, but the concrete building that is Atlantis Reno, the newest tower is like 30 years old, and the oldest tower, which is like integral to it, is maybe 50. So I expect things will start happening there in the next few years. Yeah, sorry about that, Steve. I was not showing the map, but I did go back to seeing it. And hi, Minnesota 3, and Paco Bowl. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. And Texas Tootsie says knows the Kashada floor plan well. Yeah, I mean, I have video. They gave me permission to record. I can show you video of walking through it, but I don't have video where I blurred everybody's faces. So I try to be careful about sharing that because a violation of privacy is important not to do that. I'm trying to keep everything legal. Morning, Susan. Susan took Slots Labs and she's very enthusiastic about it. Frenzy, good morning. And yeah, Susan knows the importance. I know exactly what you're saying wow to, which is those wins that were just like, what the heck? So if you're coming late, and I'll share this here. We have casino data from Kashada. You can see the explanation for it earlier, where there are 7 wins for $1,750 between 6:25 and 6 minutes after 8 on Thursday morning, and one of them was $5,000. And these are 2 different machines, both of which have bonus sizzling 7s, $1 bets. And if you're go to Kashada, it's those machines. Oh, look at right in front of the entrance, highly visible machines. This happens all the time. Where I'm like, what did I not say? And so let's get to the next questions. No worries about being late, Susan. Texas Tootsie, one of my moderators, says, be sure to hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Susan, who's at Firekeepers in Michigan, Tribal Casino in Michigan, left with $6,800 last weekend. Because she's an advanced user, please look at her words. She did not win $6,800. She left with $6,800, and she didn't say how much she went in with, but it wasn't anything that high. And she does this regularly. And Jason from Firekeepers is here as well. Nice. I'm pretty sure it was Firekeepers. Susan may also go to Gun Lake as Gary does. I'm so sorry, Angie. 108 in Oklahoma. I'd heard it was bad. I was in Iowa for 10 years, going to graduate school in Ames, Iowa, at Iowa State University. That degree. Anyway, it was so humid because the moist air would come up from the Gulf of Mexico between the 2 mountain ranges, and it's why they grow corn there. You could, on really humid days, you can practically hear the corn grow, and it got to be very hot but very humid. And for the first time ever, in August, I'm in Reno, and here for July, here for June, and it's not that hot. I mean, yes, it's hot, but it's not humid. It's not like I'm slick with sweat. It's just kind of like a nice breeze. Make sure you use sunscreen and all that. Of course, coming up tomorrow, getting a hurricane or the remnants of one. Serenity says, who needs a kiddie condo when you have those high bookshelves? Yes, and if I don't mean to talk about cats because people are like, stop talking about cats, but I have them so that they're staggered, right? So there's this, and then there's this one, that one, and so they can climb up. They can, let me see if I can do this right. They can climb up here, go up there, climb up there, and then go up here and climb up there, and it's kind of a stepping stone. Yeah, they really enjoy it, particularly lately. It's just, what the heck? I have a stick, a toy that has a tape on it. Poke. There you go. That's right. I need to create another YouTube channel about cats, and probably have my daughter as co-host because she has many of them. She's talked about that. We'll just turn on a 24-hour camera, make good money that way, and it'll be fun. Okay, getting back to slots. Gun Lake Casino putting up hotel right now. Okay, so not yet. When it opens, that's when you're going to notice things. There might be a slight adjustment as they make some payments to get the whole construction thing going, but it's not until they have to, give the big payments that you'll really see the drop in returns. That's why I always talk about having a backup casino. It could be sold under new management, new decisions are made, or it could build a casino hotel or expand the casino floor. And so these things happen. Of course, they happen. Reno pretty much shut down on their casinos when the tribal casinos in California started up. But it's been a decade or two, and those tribal casinos are starting to get old. Those that didn't make a hotel and remodeled and all those things. And now the Reno casinos are coming back, and they're all fresh and new, and trying to woo Californians who come to Reno for fun. And that is when it's an easy drive from San Francisco Bay, and as well as the state of Washington. Perhaps not easy, but it's drivable. And yeah, that is something that I'm living here in Reno. Yeah, and they've been living for years, decades. See, it was a great weekend. Susan says, Plus was drawn to punch the board in a prominent promotion, won $2K cash. Oh, yeah, that's right. I saw your photo on Facebook, which I can't share because that's private. But yeah, congratulations. $2,000 in cash from a promotion. And Firekeepers has been nice to me this month. Good for you. And Jason, who's also there, Jason has, they're really all over, I wish all of you knew your casinos as well as Jason and Susan knows Firekeepers. And I've been there night before my one of my moderators, her daughter got married last year early. And I got there a little early, so I went there the night before on a Friday, and I wrote it up and learned a lot. But Jason says it's only been called once at Firekeepers, and was also for 2K a few years ago. Okay. Gary says I used to work at Firekeepers, Gun Lake Casino, and Four Winds Casinos. Nice. Question from Steve. Okay. Mary Ellen says next, your shelves are kitty approved. Yeah. I need to put like a pad on it or something so they don't slide around at all when they jump up there. Always more kitty friendly. Steve says, this past weekend I went to one of my local casinos, Green Bay, Wisconsin, right? I know you go to a couple of different casinos, but if you say local, that's what you mean. And it was a gas station. And Jack potted and left and went to the main casino, and one of the hosts came over and asked about my win. Well, this is true for a lot of casinos. In Oklahoma, you might have a main tribal casino, and then there's like a gas station with slots in it. I saw that at Chuck Durant when I was there. And yes, it's connected, which is good because if you go to a casino that is a gasino, as they call them in Oklahoma, if it's not connected to anything, then it's only those machines, and they don't have the technologies that I talk about, the central servers, because a gas station with 5 or 10 machines can't afford it. My grocery store has slot machines. Or at least video poker, and there's no central server. You need at least to have 50 or so slot machines in order for it to be financially viable for the business to make money back from a central server. You can't be highly visible if there's 5 machines in a row and that's all there is. It's like, what are you doing? And so your highly visible approach at your gas station in Oklahoma, or excuse me, Green Bay, Wisconsin area, that means that the central server is connected to the gas station slot machines, that the central server for the main casino nearby. And that's awesome. These are little details that are the difference between fundamental slots knowledge and advanced slots knowledge. Yeah. Good. I'm glad they do that. It's a little surprising, but technology is certainly there. And once you start realizing that central servers do exist, there's people that just rail against the whole idea and they make ridiculous arguments. The point being that they make ridiculous arguments. And then they say, see how it can't be true because all this would be thus, and it's just like, dude, you know, get a grip, be scientific. If you, there's a term ad nauseum. If you, that's a common logic argument where if you just take somebody's idea and just make it ridiculous, and nothing that person ever said, and then they say, see, yeah, whataboutism, other things like that. So I want you to have a good education. I work hard to give you a good education in slots. Just check the data, check the laws. I'll point you in the right direction. You can read it for yourself. And I'll have more slots Q&A questions coming out. Interesting source. Again, thank you, Steve, for your, well, I don't mean to get you in trouble, next time. That was you? You were the Steve? Price of fame, Steve. Looks like that is, and yes, Mary Ellen says your shelves are kitty approved. Well, I don't have ramps. They have to actually jump. So I'm like, get ramps so they can walk up or chase each other up. And they're finding that the locations up there are all up that I'm having up there for them are where they can stay away from the other cats. I have a little cloth sort of tube that they run down, and they enjoy that. So I do like to keep the kitties happy. Right. So please consider Slots Labs. The advanced topic, my fundamentals course comes free with it. If you are interested in learning some of the fantastic things that we're uncovering about how to win at slots. Only 20 people. Yep. Yes, I'm in Reno. I used to have my desk over on the other side, and you could look out my patio to see Atlantis, but only during sunsets because it was like it's really bright outside. It's a desert, so I decided to make my lighting situation a little easier to handle. Yes, I'm in Reno. I've been here since October. Right. So that's it. What a great live stream. I'll see you next Saturday at noon Eastern. In the meantime, I highly recommend that you watch this video on Lucky Chance Spin on the Lightning Link high limit machine at Peppermill, Reno. Enjoy.